Being child-free by choice forces you to deal with misogyny you didn't even know you had. I didn't realize, as somebody who was a longtime feminist, how much internalized misogyny I had until I firmly stood in the truth that I did not want children, because I caught myself on multiple occasions, especially when I was around 37 and 38, when, the window's closing, that I caught myself thinking, but if I'm not a mom, what is my point? Like, that women are known as being, if you're not mothers, and if they're not mothers, then they damn well better have a really impressive career. And I had neither, or a husband. I had none of the things I was supposed to have. And I didn't have the one thing that would legitimize my life, which is curing cancer or something majorly epic that made it important. Because it never occurred to me, I just had a right to live without a purpose of serving somebody. Right? I didn't realize that message was there until that final big decision, which is to not have kids. But what I want to remind women of who are in that place, because let me tell you something, I've talked about this a lot. When you're in your mid to late 30s and early 40s, that pressure to do what patriarchy tells you have to do is so intense. If you haven't already done it, it is so intense that you will make the worst decisions of your life. Because the idea that you could just exist as a woman, now if you were a man, you could do this, but as a woman, you could exist and not give so much of yourself to, grow a human, or, to serve a man or children, right? And I had to ask myself, do I have a right to exist if I'm not a mom? Do I have a right to exist if I'm not curing cancer or something epic? Do I have a right to just exist? To just have fun and have community and love people in my life and love my work? Now, the thing is that this period of time did push me to be bolder in the areas of my life that were lacking. Right? So I started to focus on community. And that has been my purpose, because I was like, I don't have a husband, and I can't even imagine myself having a husband. I couldn't even imagine myself dating long term. So whatever. I'm not a mom, so I don't have a family. And that's all people seem to what, who am I going to have? What am I going to have? Right? So I was like, I want community. That is what I need, is community. Right? And so I focused on that. And I took more bold risks in my career, my creative career, which paid off. Because at the time, I was waiting tables at a barbecue place. My body was giving out. I was really struggling with this really intense physical labor, this emotional labor of waiting tables, but, so that I could write. But I didn't realize that performing in LA and writing, neither of which paid, the way I was doing it wasn't working anymore. So I had to adapt and shift, and that shift changed my career. Now I do this for a living. But I had to let go of this idea that I am nothing without a meaningful career, in terms of success and a ton of money and whatever, in order to have a purpose. And I most importantly had to give up this idea that my life is not worthy as worthy as all the other women, because I'm not a mom, a grandma, or a wife. The wife part was easy for me because I had never envisioned that. But the mom and grandma, I never envisioned myself doing that. But I didn't know many women who were not that, right? And that it was a really scary thought to realize that was there. What's the point? What is my point? What's my point? Do I have a right to exist if I'm not sacrificing in order to nurture somebody, nurse somebody, literally give birth to somebody, raise somebody? I thought that I deserved that, but when I was faced with that decision, I realized that there's a part of me that doesn't think I deserve this. And let me remind you, I have a history degree. And I've been studying history ever since, because I do think history always gives me, the historical context always gives me the gratitude and the perspective that I need to not judge the shit out of myself. And when I thought, especially when I learned about my grandmas, one in particular, who was literally a hostage, wanted a divorce, could not get a divorce. My grandpa would not let her have a divorce. He was abusive. Like, he hated her. He celebrated her death at her funeral. Free at last. I mean, dancing. I'm king of the mountain now. All this stuff at her funeral. She didn't have a choice to be anything but a wife and a mother and a grandma. I don't know if she ever even wanted that stuff. She didn't even have a choice. Do you understand what a privilege it is to have a choice? Very few women have had a choice. We have been locked into this. You have to do this. The law made women have babies that they didn't want to have. So then they risked their life getting abortions because it wasn't legal. Women had to get married because they had no money. No money! You don't have access to money. You have no choice without access to money. So they did. Stop believing it. Your grandmas, some of them might have had love. But when you have no choice, is it love or are you learning to love your captor? Is it really love if you can't fucking leave? Is it? You can learn to accept and deal with the situation as best, and maybe you lucked out, but if you can't leave because you don't have money, are you choosing that life? No. So I am so grateful that my biggest problem today is that I have to, or I don't now, it's too late now. Maybe it's not even too late. I'm 47? I could still give birth today. Now that we know it's men's baby gravy that makes it all complicated and not us, definitely could probably still give birth. But I don't want to. I still don't want to. Not going to do it. Not going to have kids. Don't want them. And the fact that my biggest problem up here and in here for years in my late 30s when I was like, oh, the pressure, even though I don't want this thing, the pressure. My biggest problem was I had to choose. What a blessing. I got to choose. I had a choice. A choice that so few women have ever had before my generation. The fact that my mom was able to get a divorce because my dad was cheating on her and left her anyway. The fact that she was able to be a single mom is a miracle. She was a great mom. She did a great job. I'm so glad that man was not in our house. Whereas my dad was raised by a mom who desperately begged for a divorce. And he would not let her leave. She had to stay. So she cheated with the neighbor for like 20 years. Good job, Granny. Proud of you. Anyway, if you are struggling with the decision to have kids, what a gift. Don't let them think you don't deserve a life where you just get to choose what you do. I am living the dream of so many generations of women before me who would have died to even explore what they love to do. I have worked in the film industry in New York and LA. I've been a comedian in New York and LA. Before that, I was a whitewater raft guide, a backpacking instructor, a kayaking instructor, a climbing instructor. I worked on a strawberry farm in Argentina. I taught English in Spain. I have done the most random fucking stuff because I was curious and wanted to just see. I don't know, that seems fun. I have the gift, the privilege of choosing to try other things and to not have kids. I'm sorry, I'm knocking all this stuff off my desk. To not even get married. And even now, even though I am married now, one of the things that gives me so much comfort is knowing I am financially independent and I've lived most of my life as a single person and I loved that life. I am not afraid to leave. Ever. I know I loved my life on my own where I made all the decisions for myself. And knowing that I'll be okay. If this man ever becomes a version of him that I don't like and is not good for me, I can go. The fact that I can leave at any time, don't have to have kids, and can have pursued the career of my dreams, my grandmas would be so proud of me. They had lived to see this. Another Moe's Comet song with Moe's and his tongue. Yeah, he fell asleep with his tongue sticking out like that. For a minute, I thought this big boy was dead, 'cause he just wouldn't wake up. Look at this tongue, oh my god. Most common song, common song. Most common song, most common song. Finally, was like, okay, seriously, wake up. Are you dead? What the fuck? He never sleeps this deep. Then Anthony started making dinner, and he didn't move or even notice until he heard the food in the bowl. Then his tail wagged once, and then he was like, maybe. But then kept being asleep, and I was like, oh my god, he's really dead. Then Buzz finally got up. This is kind of a weird common song. I'm narrating sleeping dog with his tongue, but I don't know. This is my common song. Finally, he's like, wait, what? Bitch, it's time to eat. Oh my god. Common song, most tongue common song. Et voilà.